What's up, y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to restore the Secret of Mana soundtrack, continuing with What the Forest Taught Me, which is the song that plays in, you guessed it, the forest. So, without further ado, let me play this track a little bit, and then we can get to restoring. Cool. So that's about a what's the time? 100. It's about a 55-second loop, and it's not very intensive, so this shouldn't take too long. So we've got our strings. We've got a flute, which is recorded from the TG-77, and we got, where's my piano? It's an S1000. Here we go, piano. So we got a piano, we got strings, so we got the flute, and we have, I heard brass in there too, so we'll probably take care of that. Now, but the first thing we want to do is take care of the flute, so I need a MIDI out to connect to the TG-77. And let me just turn everything on real quick. And so now I've got the TG-77 booted up, and let's load the flute patch. Okay, so it's like right around here. That's the Muthi patch. Let's see. I think it's the other direction. There we go, flute. Oh wait, I have to plug in my MIDI cable here. So I plug in the MIDI cable, and then let's see. Now if I set this to 2, here we go. It's coming through. I just need to give it. I just need to set up the input in FL Studio. So input one. Whoops. In 2. Okay, so that's a little distorted. Let's see. Turn it down. But it's gonna be quieter in the thing. So I need to know what lines use this flute. Right now it's everything. So each of these are, 2 of these flutes are the same pan, so that means I can layer them a little bit. But I better not, no, I don't need saturation on those anyway. So that means these 2, so it's pretty much, and then the panning switches on the flute, on that flute anyway. So it's these 2 flute layers. It's these 2 flute layers that I want to record, channels 3 and 4. And let me check the patch log. This one never changes. This one's straight up the flute all the time. And this is a, let's see, this one changes to the brass at around bar 25. And let's see. So I can grab this, like this whole thing. And actually this is like a chorus, so I don't need all of this. I just need, I can just select this and then Control Shift select here. So copy that and let me see what y'all are saying. First like, yes, congratulations. All right, so I grab all this and then I go find first empty. Well, no, I don't need to. I can just use it the pattern as is because it's going to be just a recording. So let's see. Now this is going to play. I need to raise an octave, so Control up. And then the lower layer, actually I need to remove that space, but not yet because actually the lower layer might have something else going on. So everything from bar 24 and before gets it. Oh, actually this one repeats too. Actually this one pretty much, this part repeats as well. This is a straight up repeat, like right here. So if we copy that and then we go to here, we just paste it under and go Control up to give it more of a, to give it one octave up. And this is actually also a repeat, so I can remove this. And so now I just drag this part, like remove the space here. But I don't want to remove, I don't want to put it right in front of there because I need some space here for the tail. Because I'm going to need to move this part in the recording. So this is about right. And I think this part is going to be panned differently. Let me. And I don't think there's. So this is the total. This is all of the flute, all the winds. And the rest of these channels are not flute at all. So this channel here is panned the other direction, so this one's just straight up staccato notes. And it keeps the same panning. And then it repeats again. And then it plays brass. Wait, no, what does this one play at the end? It turns into strings. And then there's really no more. Yeah, this part still plays a flute. But actually this part, these notes switch to flute as well. So this one stays, this one is also another flute that's panned the other way. Yeah, so that is good like that. We can, so I can just record that for now. Let me actually get all of the pans in one place. So I'm gonna cut this for now. And let me see, because it switches, right? Like this part, like that part. But that part was also, let's see. That part was actually panned to the left. So what I want to know is are there any other parts panned to the right? That's okay. I can just make I'll just make the recording like this and then take it as it comes. So what I want to do is let me just roll with this. Okay, and so now we can record on Edison, but let me put a limiter above that because I don't want it clipping at all. And let me raise the volume so is it that doesn't really get there. Nice, so let me record that into Edison and press record and play. Put a dead note at the end so that it gets it there. Nice. Okay, so if we cut that recording and trim the side noise, and I'm in 48s already, so that's good. And then we save that as, let's see. Forest Flute 1. And so we have that, and now we just drop it in. Let me refresh the browser first. So we drop it in, and then that's going to go right there. And then we have some cuts to make. We have to paste this part twice. And so this goes here also. Wow, I didn't, wait, what's my snap? Hold on. Oh, I have it at none, actually, so. Let me put it at beat, and then, oh wait, it didn't, let me see. This one's going to be weird on me. Let me go undo that, and slice clip, and let me slice it right down the middle, and then I can that way I can paste it exactly where it at the same spot. And so then in the so we have that part repeated again, exactly as it would, like the first verse is repeated again. And then that after that it's all unique sections. So that's good. Now we have to set our panning for that recording. And I also have to set a lower volume. I'm going to set this to 40%. And so let's see. So this panning is going to, these two are going to be, let me copy this value. It's going to go to the right a bit. So that's set, and then now I want to gather all of the flute bits that are like panned the other way. I know this bottom one is panned the other way because if I go like this one is in the left channel. And so that's the end of that. So there's another flute here. That one's actually panned to the right. this one's another right one. So I can go and grab this one, and this is going to be another right bound recording. So if I grab this line, actually it repeats, so I'll need to grab one of these lines, half of it. And so if I go into the pattern and I delete this, and I paste that, and then I put a dead note at the end, I can also record that, but I have to put it an octave up with Control up, so let's see. Let me make a new recording in Edison, and let me just record this line. Oh, hey, it's very quiet for some reason. Oh, probably because I have only one note going in at a time. So let me make a new recording, and then let me press record. Oh wait, no, I actually need to set the volume. So let me set it louder, and then... Huh. It's not getting louder like I want it to. That's weird. I'm setting the knob, but it's not getting louder. Let me just use the gain knob here. That's strange. So it's basically, it looks like it's not coming through the, Oh, that's the recording. Whoops, that's my bad. Let me reset the gain knob and... Nice, so a short little recording. Let's go ahead and hit record. Stop recording and then stop playback. And trim side noise, and let's normalize this. And then we can save this as Forest Flute 2. And so let's go and let's see, Forest Flute 2. Paste this right at the end. And let's also set the volume to 40%. And it's going to play twice, I think. So, yeah, there we go. Twice. Yeah, that's good. And then the panning on this one is going to be the same as the other flute. So let's just, I think I should have it still, the value and still in there. Yeah, so just paste. Now the other layer, now the other flute, there's 3 flutes, but there's one that's panned to the left. And so that is... No, that's the bass flute, the more bassy flute. So that one's panned to the left a bit. And there's not really any other flutes here. See, these are strings, this is a piano. And this one turns into strings, but we get another flute here. And this one actually turns into a left-bound flute. Yeah, that's right. Channel 3 changes direction. I don't know why he shifts it around so much, but channel 3 changes direction. Okay, this one is the one that's supposed to be right in the right channel. That's the one that we recorded, right? Yes. So that one's correct. And now the one that we have left is, we just have to get all the left ones. So this one's right in the right. So I know that all of this is a unique... Actually, just these 8 bars is a uniquely patterned flute. Are you gonna give this flute a warmer sound? Yeah, I mean, not a warmer sound, but I'm gonna give it a brighter sound actually, but because but it'll still sound warm like it does in the original because it's a warm patch. So I copied that and then I just paste this here. So that's all that flute stuff going on in channel 5. And then it turns into strings, and then we have another flute. This flute is in channel 3. So then it's just that channel 3 flute at the end, which is this. So we just copy this, and then I go to the pattern and paste that in, but give it some space because I need to keep these are like these don't occur one right after another. So let me put this up an octave. Wait, actually I think that whole thing needed to be up an octave. Let me see. Wait, let me check on that. No, yeah, it all needs to go up an octave. Nice, and then that second part. That sounds pretty right. Yeah, so this is all the left channel flute. So let's now make a new recording and play. And then cut recording, cut playback, and trim the side noise. Normalize. And now we've got the complete flute recording. So let's save this as Forest Flute 3. And then we refresh the browser. And now this is going to go directly under the other flute layers. And so we have this part repeated, and then it moves on to the next part, and I think the next part is repeated actually. This part is also should be repeated. It's like a harmony bit. I do believe so. Yes, it is. And so then both like all of these are repeated again. This whole line is repeated again. So and I can't do Control B because it's got some tail at the end. So I just have to do Control C and paste it manually. Okay, and but that shouldn't go to all the way to the end, should it? Let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't repeat that that very last part doesn't repeat. Whoops. So it's like an A B A C kind of thing. So now we have that second or that third part, which is doing this. And so this part repeats itself again, and that is this channel 3 flute here. Yeah, that one right there. And so, yeah, that ought to be it for the flute. I just have to set the pan. So The panning for this one is, you just copy that knob and then go to Forest Flute 3 and paste. Oh, I also have to set the volume to 40% for that last recording. But there's something wrong with the volumes here, because the bass flute here sounds louder. And the reason for that is because I have two record, like in this top layer, I have two notes going at the same time. There's two lines of flute. And so those, but the sounds are already at the same volume. So these should actually be louder than the bottom one. So if I raise that up, I just have to kind of do it to taste because I don't know. That sounds good. I like that. Now, the only thing is like these. Okay, so these line actually it's good that I recorded this second flute line separately because this is only one track. So now the volume stays the same, even though like this one's volume doesn't have to go down. And so that's kind of the way I like it. Because this should stay at 41 and this, yeah. So that's good. Now I just need to, I want to record the brass as well and the harmonica. I think there's a harmonica in this, so I want to record the harmonica before I, that way I can change back to 44.1 and not overload my processor. So now I need to find where these brass patches are occurring. And I do believe they occur in the last section only. There we go. Okay, so it's just the one brass layer in channel 4. So it's just this articulation here, or it's just this pattern here. So if I copy this, copy and paste it in my pattern, delete this, and then I have to go to my TG77 and set it to and find the brass 1980 patch. And so let me just, that's bass for BA, electric piano, WN. I think it might be somewhere in here. I just have to search because it's not giving me. Okay, so that's synth pad, AP brass. There we go. That should be it. $19.80. There we go. That'll do it. So now I have it all set, and so now if I play the line, and let me open the limiter so I can see exactly how high the meter is going. Nice, so that's good. Let me take that down a little bit. And now if I go to Edison, new recording, and record, I can play. No, but I don't want it to restart again, so I need to put a dead note there. Let me go to new, and then put a dead note here, so that I can have space, and then record it again. It played a little bit of tail there. Let me record again, and this time stop, and stop playback, stop recording, and trim side noise. So save sample as forest brass. And then refresh the browser. Whoops, I saved it wrong. Refresh the browser again and drag that into the project. Drag it right there, and then that's going to repeat twice. And let me set that to 40% volume. And then I'm gonna find my panning and copy it to there. So this is the channel here, and it's gonna be 16% right. So I copy that value, set the filter group to all, and paste it to the brass recording. Nice. So now I just have to record the harmonica patch. So let's go and switch. Let's go and find our harmonica in TG77. And let's go back to the winds. There we go. Muthi. That's what we need. It's called Muthi. So now I just have to, oops. So now I just have to grab that line, whatever, it's the last, I do believe it's the last melody line. Yes. I think it's basically the same as the brass. Yeah, it's just a layer of the brass. So I can probably just use that articulation on the, or that line on the harmonica. Nice. So now let me go to Edison and let me make sure my volume's right first. Gotta raise it up a bit. Nice. So now I just go to new recording, press record. Stop playback, stop recording, trim side noise, and then save as forest harmonica. Refresh the browser and add that in there twice. Set the volume to 40%. Let me put that at the bottom there, just so it's next to the brass, since it is a layer. And now our panning is going to be, let's see. Wait a minute, the brass's panning is different from what I thought. I think it had to change. So the brass is actually 45% to the left. So let's set the filter group to all and paste that in the brass pan. And so now this is going to be the harmonica's panning. So I paste that here. And then that is all good. We have all our recordings. So that is good. Nice. So now I can go and save this. No, I want to switch to 44.1. So let me switch to 44.1, and it's going to have to close the project. So I want to save as what, whoops, what the forest taught me. Okay, so now I load that up again. And now I can remove Edison since I don't need it anymore. Now all we have left is piano and strings. So let me... The first strings line is here, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, channel 2. So these two lines... Okay, so I copy that because those two are repetitious. And then I'm going to go to pattern 2 and call it strings. Now this is going to be the strings channel, strings pattern now. TG77, yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm using the TG77 to record these synthesizer patches because they're not really available online. Actually, I don't want this in MIDI out. I want this in contact. And I want to make sure that this is going to the first channel, so let me select channel 1 and Alt-C to change it. And so the panning on this is going to be, let me make sure I have it at the right moment. 45% right. And that, as far as I know, does that change? No, not yet. So let's set the strings to 45% right. And then let's see what other strings we have around here. We have more strings coming in at channel 6. More strings come in on channel 6. This is right here. So we have another layer of strings actually. And this layer is... I think it's the same panning, so let me check. 30, no, it's almost the same panning. It's 30% right. So what I need to do then is make a new patch. Let me copy this. And this goes under that second line. So let me paste this here. And I already have the piano as another patch, so this is going to be in channel 3. So let me select channel 3 and Alt-C to change it. And then I'm going to go and drag in another strings patch, and it'll automatically be routed to 3. And I just go and set that to 30% right. Nice. So now, what other strings do we have here, if any? So what is the number of the strings patch that plays? Let me see. 32. So now I just have to check for 32. So you have to count all the 32s you see here. So it's channel 1 and channel 5. So if we disable everything but 1 and 5, should be able to hear our strings. Cool. So let's go and grab that line, those lines from 1 and 5. So we have 1. Copy this. And this is going to be what kind of panning? Let me play it. Play it at the playhead here, and then this is going to be 45% to the right, so that's the first strings channel. So I paste that here. Whoops. Paste that here and set to channel 1 and Alt-C to change it. And then is that the same as... No, that's different. Yeah, it's different from the one before. So... And then I go to channel 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is right, isn't it? Yeah, it's a harmony. So I go and grab this harmony line and copy. And this one is going to be 31% to the right, so that's the same one as the channel 3. So paste this here, and it's pasting off beat again. So set the channel to channel 3 and Alt-C to change it. And so now what I want to do is I set my strings to play here and set the first 4 bars to play twice. And then I go to the next 4 bars and set them to play twice. And then I go and set the last 4 bars and set those to play twice. Everything just repeats twice in this song, I think. So now it goes... Do you add an exciter to the strings or no? Yeah, I read. I just can't. I just forget to read the comments until a while. So, do you add an exciter to the strings or no? No, not really. It's bright and it sounds bright enough to me that I don't need an exciter. I think it sounds fine without it. So, let's see. So now we just need our piano lines. So let me see that one play. There's a high one and a low one, I think. One and 7. And then there's no piano in this section, I believe. Cool, so it's just those 2 lines. And this, let's see. And the piano should be panned differently, right? So it's 1 and 7, let's see. This one, the top one, the high piano is 30% left, and the low piano is 45% left. So we do need 2 patches. So let's grab, how many, I need, this one repeats a lot. Let me see how many this time. This one just repeats 4 at once. So let's copy this, and let me find first empty and call this piano. And so let's paste this here. And I'm going to set this to be channel 2. Alt C to change. Now this might sound like the wrong octave, but it's just because this is a multi-sampled piano. So the sample that you're hearing, it's the same, it's from the same patch, but he sampled the piano like way up here somewhere. And this is playing down here. So it's not going to sound the same. It doesn't sound like a real piano in the it doesn't sound like a real piano in the game, but that's because it's a high sample. And that might actually be the wrong octave. I don't know. Let me see how it sounds above. Oh yeah, it actually is the wrong octave. So it's 1 octave off. So it does sound. It still does sound a bit different, but it's not as different. Sounds more similar now. So let me set this to. This was 45% left, so let me set it to 45% left. And now let me go and grab another another piano sound. Wherever I never can find the piano in time. Ah, here it is. So I'm going to add another piano sound and set this to be 30% to the left. Let me grab 4 bars of this. And I'm watching the chat now, by the way. I've got my eye on it. So let me paste this up, and this is going to go up an octave with Control up, and then we're going to set it to channel 4, Alt C to change. Cool. And let me insert 1 track above it because this is like the highest thing in the soundtrack or in the song. So let me just put that up here, and then that's the complete soundtrack pretty much. So let's play. And I'm going to give everything a mixer track while we do that. Sounds solid. I'm actually curious how wet you think the piano should be. Well, let's find out. It does sound like it definitely has some reverb, so but not too much. Maybe a moderate amount of reverb, but we'll see. It does also sound like here is just straight reverb. Like this top line. It sounds in the SNES like it's delay, but that's the way the SNES worked. Is it used like a bunch of rapid delays to make the sound of reverb. That's why in that's why in like a in Donkey Kong Country, when they had all those echoes in the cave, when I made the restoration, it doesn't sound like it echoes because it's a reverb. It's not like delays. So let me I'm concerned about the flutes. I might want to give each of the flute, like each layer of the flutes, a different mixer track because they're in different ends of the spectrum, so I'm gonna have to EQ them differently. Like this. See, this is in the same end of the spectrum, so this can be on 1. So I want to give this one a different track. Let me give the flute 3 a completely different track. Let me call this flute 2. Let me call this bass flute. And likewise, no, I think I can give the piano a different track, like the second piano a different track too. Well, no, that's fine because it would be played as one piano. It wouldn't be like 2 separate pianos, realistically. So now what I want to do is I have to go and actually send the piano to that mixer track. So let me go to contact and create separate master output channel, and then set the plugin out, set it to be plugin out 3 and 4, and also set the second piano to use that master out. And then let me go to processing, and in the plugin out that I've created, let me set that to be +1. Nice. So that's good. Now I think we have everything of the mixer track. Okay, so now I just want to go through everything and sort of mix it. So let me start with my first treble flute, which is not playing for some reason. Oh, because I'm in pattern. So let's give this some chorus. And let's raise the treble on this to bring out that breathiness. And this is also we're gonna want to give this some reverb. And I want to give this a hall reverb because it is very much an orchestral. I want to primarily use TSAR1R, which is a realistic reverb plugin, because this is primarily an orchestral thing. Let me give it about 10% wet. 10% reverb mix. And that ought to stack up. That ought to be comparable. That's pretty great. That sounds pretty right. Actually, might be able to up that a little bit, like to 15. Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a reverb hall. Bless you. Thank you. Let's see. The flute sounds like it might benefit from from a pinch of compression. It sounds in the original like it does to a degree. You mean like volume compression, right? Like let's see. It would have to be limited if that's what you mean. But I think it needs to be. I think mostly just the transient needs to be suppressed. Yeah, I think what you mean is like the transient needs to come out, right? Which, because I hear that too. So I'm gonna try to do in transpire on this. Let me see. I need attack. Nice. Okay, that works for me. Um, Not really much more I need to do. Maybe I might want to take the reverb down just a bit, like maybe 2%, 3%. Nice. Now let me try the brass. That one needs some chorus. Strong chorus too. And I can also saturate that a bit. And so I'm going to set the compensate for the volume gain. And let me see what kind of reverb that has. Quite a bit, actually. So let me set this to accompaniment reverb. Actually, this is kind of a melody, so let me send this to melody. Nice. And that pretty much does it. Let me try the harmonica now. Yeah, let me put a little bit of chorus on this. For dynamic, for stereo value. Nice. Let me give it a little bit of an exciter. And saturation. And I think everything actually has a reverb, right? Yeah, that one definitely has a reverb too, and it is a lead. So I'm gonna put it in the lead reverb. Now the strings, let's see about those. And this is also, I think this whole thing is like just mostly just a fugue. So let me send it. Now this, I want to EQ this strings. I want to give it more bass. And a little bit less presence. And maybe a little bit more high treble. Maybe a little less bass. But let me cut the deep bass for the high pass. Nice. Maybe not so much high treble then. And let me give it some stereo separation. Just a little bit. Now the piano, I want to take down in volume. It's a little bit too loud. Let me saturate, let me give it some chorus. Just a little bit, because pianos are sensitive to chorus. Could sound like a honky tonk if you're not careful. And this can actually go into accompaniment, because it's a straight up accompaniment line. And so now let me add also my hall reverb let me start it at 12%. And let me darken up that piano because it's got too much going on. A little bit too much going on in the high end. Let me boost the bass a bit. Nice. Now let me try the bass flute. Chorus just like the treble flute. And this one's also an accompaniment, so let me send it to accompaniment reverb. And let me also boost the highs here. But I also want to boost the bass a bit. Someone says, I think the harmonica could benefit some EQ. The midtones seem a bit held down in the original as well. Okay, so let's take a look at that. The harmonica. Let me see. So the midtones would be like this, right? And that midtone being held down might be because this is a relatively low patch. So, and he's using a higher note for this. So, yeah, I hear what you mean. There's like there's a certain level, there's a certain set of frequencies that are like lower, are lower volume. Probably not because he did that on purpose. I think it's more because he's using a high note as the sample. But we can recreate that. This part right here. And yes, I do hear a boost in the bass. How does that sound? Yeah, I think that sounds good. Now, because this is, well, I can actually do some Maximus on this too. But I might not do, I'm not going to compress it hard. I'm not going to, I'm not mastering. It's mastering. I'm not going to master it hard because this is a classical line, classical part. Doesn't need to be very loud. So now I just want to set the bands. So let me set the bass band. Because it doesn't have much bass at all. But let me set it at where it's loudest. Yeah, suppress that loud part a bit. Now the middles. Set it right here. Actually, let me set it a bit higher. Nice. Now the highs. Set it about right here. That kind of sounds weird though. It almost sounds like there's too much of one thing. Let me see what happens if I disable this. Yeah, I almost like it better if it was Actually, it doesn't sound much different at all. Let's see, the single flute you were mixing, it sounds a bit more puffy in the original, just to let you know. Yeah, it does that. I think this one it's because he used a higher note and he has the higher note. He used a really high note for that. And he has it playing down low, so it sounds a bit more breathy. Let me take this down a bit. Nice. That sounds good. I'm gonna let y'all listen to that for a bit. So now I just want to loop that and give it an ending, if I can. There's really not much I can do because most of it's recordings, but we'll do our best. And it also does actually, it kind of does end on a note. Da, 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 da. Yeah, if you just let the reverb ring out, that works fine. Just let the reverb ring out, that's it. Nice. So that bass bridge sounds slightly shorter than the original for some reason. The part where it repeats, I mean. Oh, you mean like this, like, yeah, like the part before the repeat, right here. Oh, that might be. I don't know. Actually, don't know why that would be. But we've used the same. We use the same thing. You know. It's just that. So I don't think it's any shorter because it's just straight up a repeat. Straight up repeats twice. But you guys can listen to it. Yeah, but when the brass repeats itself, if that makes sense. It's strange. It might just be an auditory thing. Yeah, because I'm looking at it, like, you mean when the brass repeats itself. I'm looking at it and it's exactly the same. So it might just be an auditory thing, yeah. Because it's exactly the same. So, alright, I'll let you guys listen to that a couple more times, and then we'll call it quits. I'm probably gonna take a break, and then we might do another song. Because this didn't take long. We've only been streaming for an hour and 15, so I'm gonna come back and do another stream. And then, like, after this is done, in an hour. You guys can listen to that for a bit. All right, thanks, man. Have a good day. All right. So that'll about do it for this stream. I'm gonna come back in about an hour and restore the next song, which is, what is the next song? A Wish. So this one will be about a 45-second cue. So that's good. That's all done. So now I will leave you guys and then come back in about an hour. All right. Take care. Jam and Sam out.